that one. Do what? Yeah, I brought I'm
Hey, you're gonna have to talk real loud when we do the Texas flag over.
That'll work. All right, good evening, everybody. I've got, what do I have? Mickey Mouse time. I've got 6:19. We will go ahead and get started. Let me write that down. We'll start with the invocation. Bruce, I understand you're on tap this evening.
All right, let's pray. Father, we just thank you, first off, Lord, for the rain that you recently sent us. The rain so much needed. Lord, Father, thank you so much for that. But Lord, we also just want to thank you that we live in a city where we can come and gather and do the business of the city. And Father, as we do that business, we just ask that you would give us wisdom and discernment on the decisions that we make. Father, may we treat each other with respect and love. And Father, we just thank you for all these things. In Christ Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Yee-haw. Got it.
In the poll, just the part, like.
All right, thank you for that. Citizens' comments and on agenda items. This is an opportunity for members of the public to suggest the addition of topics for discussion or to address topics of interest with a presentation limited to 3 minutes. Please note our magical time clock, which looks a lot like a stoplight. All speakers will conduct themselves in an orderly and lawful manner. All speakers will be recognized prior to speaking, will announce their name and address to be included in the minutes. State law prohibits the mayor and members of city council from commenting on any statement or engaging in dialogue without an appropriate agenda item being posted in accordance with the Texas open meeting laws. Ms. Donna.
Donna Hartman, 112 Great West Loop. Good evening, council. Once again, I want to thank you for the time and energy that you put into for our search for a city manager. Maybe tonight, if negotiations work out, we'll have an answer. I wanted to let you know that Larry and I attended the EDC meeting Monday. It was very productive. They had like a 3-hour meeting, a lot of great ideas. They were very gracious about letting us speak also. So I think when they come back probably next month, you'll hear some good suggestions they have. I want to remind everybody we're doing a meet and greet here at the event center at 6 o'clock for the city council candidates. So everyone's welcome and encouraged to go. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, we had a fantastic Saturday. Karen Steiger was the event manager. Oh, she just did, yeah. She watches, she streams, so Karen, kudos to you. She did an incredible job, along with her wonderful auxiliary, and there's members of them here tonight too that just were phenomenal. She organized and coordinated over 130 volunteers. She's amazing. For our 5K, there was about 300 runners in the event, and the funds, of course, go to support our fire department. We had fantastic backing from our city. We couldn't be more grateful for the backing that we got. Our administrative staff, Kelly ran in the race, Dio was there helping out with the registration, Amanda was there. It was fantastic. We appreciate them coming out. Councilwoman Allen, she helped with pre-setups, and our Mayor Pro Tem, Roxanne, she led the group in prayer and helped with the awards. Mayor Jimbo was there with the fire department. Yeah, there you go. We're gonna get you up to speak next time with the fire department and Chief Sibley, BJ and his crew, Chief Hodges with the police department, assisting the safety in front of our runners. Ronnie Snow at the marina made sure our marina looked pristine for that spectacular view for the run. Troop 118 led everybody in the pledges, and High Point Elementary Choir did a beautiful rendition. It was just beautiful, wasn't it, ladies, of the national anthem. Many sponsors stepped up, many of them that are in our city, they really stepped up and helped finance the event. I love our volunteers. I love when our community comes together to sponsor a successful event like this. It was so much fun, and it brought such positive attention to the city of Mortgage Point Resort. I am so proud of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Larry?
Oh, my.
Larry Hartman, 112 Great West Loop. I think that annexation is going to be wonderful. Tell Jared, though, he's the guy that got rid of staggered terms when he was the mayor. So just want to let you know. But the question I have, primarily for that, is I'm assuming when they do the roads, they're going to use either Bell County or somebody to do an inspection that the road's good before we accept it. And water, so that there's a loop or we don't have a dead-end water line, because it's happened in the past. So just, y'all hadn't discussed that, and I just wondered if that was being discussed in that, so I'm sure it was. So that's, in the gated community deal, that was an issue with the fire department for safety, you know, so.
Absolutely. And I can speak to
You,
that.
I got what, minute and a half left? Go ahead, you can do it.
Yes, so the water line, absolutely, it'll be worked through with the county, city engineers, you know, we'll get all the approvals necessary. If we need to loop it or have a blowout valve, absolutely, that will be worked through. Gate, open negotiations. I know that the developer would like one, but that's, you know.
They all do.
Yes, but that's something that we're more than happy to discuss with city council. It's not a deal breaker for us. So we're happy to work through all of these issues. That's why we're here today, to answer any concerns, questions, and work with the city to maintain what you guys have put up here, which is why we want to be here. You know, we're not here to change the landscape. We're here to help beautify the city. And so, were those all the questions? Gate, water valve, yes, okay.
We didn't want another bad road.
No, and again, that will all be inspected, maintained. Again, this is a 6-lot property that they are anticipating putting an HOA on. So that's pretty unusual for that size of property. So they're really trying to work with everyone here.
And
I hope
even
that
if it's
answers that.
gated, it'll have fire access, so. At all
Yes,
times, regardless
absolutely.
of
Even if it is
time.
gated, fire will always have access. And with the HOA in place, if it ever breaks down, the city council can immediately go to the HOA and that'll be rectified immediately. The last thing we want is for emergency vehicles to not have access. That's across the board, you know, not good for anybody. So that is top of our mind. It will always be functioning. And if it's down, hopefully it's down for an hour and we'll have a crew out there. So that's absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, 24 tons of trucking water. We have access to whatever we want, whenever we want. Barbara, I'm sorry, JoJo. I just skipped right over you, hon. Yeah.
And gosh, and I even almost ran over here. JoJo Guzman, 22 Willow Run Drive. I just want to end up taking a moment to say thank you to the mayor and to council. I know the process of electing a new city manager is not easy. It takes time, energy, and a lot of careful consideration, from reviewing candidates to meeting them and listening to the community. It's clear that there has been a great deal of effort to get this right, and I sincerely appreciate that. I also sincerely appreciate the work each of you have put into this process. It does matter and it doesn't go unnoticed. I also want you to know I'm continuing to keep all of you all in my prayers, that you have discernment, wisdom, and clarity as you move forward with this decision. The choice you make will have a lasting impact on our city, and I hope, and I am hopeful, and I am trusting that, that you all are going to be doing an outstanding job for us, city residents. I also want to take a moment to recognize something that even Donna's even said, we had a fantastic Roses for Hoses 5K, and in my opinion, it was a great success. When 4 years ago, when we started it, we had 250. This time around, we had 295 walkers and runners, plus all the volunteers to help make this event run smoothly, and the residents who came out to cheer. I also want to thank everyone who played a part behind the scenes in making this 5K happen, those who volunteered and even those who were voluntoed. They all still had a great attitude. Events like this don't come together without planning, coordination, and a community willing to step up and give their time and energy to support a great cause. My personal thanks to all the City of Morgan's Point Resort staff who helped make this event such a success as well. As a member of the Ladies Auxiliary and currently a very slow runner who participated this past Saturday, I want to personally thank Karen Stagner and the other auxiliary members for the time, effort, and heart they put into supporting this event. It truly means a lot to me to be a part of something that brings our city together in such a meaningful way. And finally, Kelly, our city secretary. This was her first 5K. Hopefully not her last. You did an awesome job, including walking back up the hill with me after you finished to make sure no one crossed that finish line alone. It's these type of moments that really reflects the strength and spirit of Morgan's Point Resort, and this is what makes our city special. That's all I have, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Barber? You, all right. Okay. All right, council will jump right into it. So first up on the agenda is discussion of minutes 26007, which is discuss and take appropriate actions from the minutes of the regular session city council meeting on March 10th, 2026. So entertain a motion for that. If you want to roll those up.
I have a couple comments on that minutes that I gave to Kelly already, and she, if we approve them tonight, she'll get them in there. I just wanted to be sure that the motion on the ordinance 26004 on Ansay Park, I wanted it to specifically state that the $60,000 is for Ansay Park improvements. It is carried over from 2025, and then there was just one typo in there. And then that Bruce, when he approved his motion, it was as redlined. I just want to make sure that gets in the minutes because it was different than what's in the packet. And then there's a few changes to the city manager update. They're minor, but instead of they, put in Corps of Engineers so we know exactly who he's talking about. And then the mention of the fuel tank and restrooms isn't Clipus Park, it's the marina. So it should be separate. And Rogers Park, again, they should be changed to Corps of Engineers. So Kelly has all that, if everybody's okay with those changes. Then I would like to make a motion to accept the minutes from March 10th as amended. Well, I have some on the other ones too, so I can do it real quick. Get a timer, I got it. Do we get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 4-0 on that one. Okay, 26008, which are the minutes for March 17th.
March 17th, there was a special session. Just a bit of clarification that we did not adjourn into executive session. Roxanne gave an update on the city manager recruiting process in the open meeting, and that we should put this under the city manager updates number 9. Because we didn't go into executive session, I don't want to conflate something that is privileged in executive session. I don't want to merge it in with the open meeting. So we need to say we did not go into executive session and then bring Roxanne's comments up. Okay.
With that, I would like to make a motion. I don't have it in front of me. 317. Oh, I don't have the ordinance in front of me. Does somebody else want to?
008.
26008, I'd like to make a motion to accept those minutes as amended.
Can I get a second? Okay, Roxanne with a second. Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0 on that one. Okay, minutes, regular session, this is 26009, discuss, take appropriate action for the minutes of the regular session, city council meeting, March 23rd, 2026.
Okay, on that one, Mary, I couldn't tell, you weren't sitting next to Jimbo, so I said you were not at that meeting.
I was here.
You were
I
there.
wasn't here, but I was over there.
Okay, then we don't have to do anything. And then we adjourned into executive session at 5:25. I didn't see a date on that, a time on that. So, okay, that's it on that one. So I would like to make a motion on 26, Mary, is it 10? 009, to accept the minutes of March 23rd with just a check on the time going into executive session.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 4-0 on that. Okay, the next two items, if you want to roll those together, are 26010 and 26011. Those are the minutes for the investment committee. Council, you should have those in your packets for both meetings, December 1st and March 31st. Mary, do you have anything you want to add to those? They're pretty cut and dry. They were essentially, I was there for both of them, so just real quick recap. They were informative in nature, just to get the investment committee moving forward, and then to discuss the possible formatting for the reports.
For the reports moving forward.
Yeah, that'll be coming
Making sure,
hopefully next month.
yeah, and everybody, making sure everybody had the training that's required for the investment certifications, so we all have, you're almost done with yours, right?
Working on it.
Yes, so
I'll
me
get
and
there.
Amanda are done, of course Dennis had to theirs, and hopefully when the new city manager comes in, if they don't, then we'll get them on certification process.
Yep. The only change I had is on the investment committee board meeting on March 31st, 26, that Amanda Dominguez was listed as accounts payable. Amanda is our senior accountant, and that's how she's listed in the investment policy. So I just want to make sure that's clear. So do I need to make a motion to accept both of the minutes from the investment committee meetings?
Yes, ma'am, you
With the-
can.
With the minor
With that
adjustment,
change.
with the right title for Amanda.
I, second.
Okay, any additional discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 4-0 on both of those. All right, thank you, council, for those. Okay, next up is a public hearing, 26002. We're gonna open a public hearing for the, man, I am all over the place tonight.
Budget amendment.
Yeah. Open a public hearing for the FY 2026 annual budget transfer funding between departments with the general fund. I've got time of 18:36. So residents, this is an opportunity for you to take the podium and express concern or issues with the budgeting transfer as it's listed.
That's what they are.
It needs to be stipulated, yeah, that's one of my questions too. It just has account numbers, but it needs to describe what it is for. Right. Right, right. You want to walk us through the purpose of this ordinance?
Anne Mary.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so there is some adjustments that needed to be made on the budget. I think it's also in the, oh, sorry, it's not on the PowerPoint slides. They didn't make it to the meeting. So the top accounts transfers from are from the general fund, from the public works, from some of the accounts that are expected to have some surpluses.
due to vacancies that we had this current year. As you know, we had some staff that were out October, November, stuff like that with salaries. And so some of those surpluses are going to be used along with the city manager contingency fund and the city manager project contingency fund. None of this is coming out of the fund balance. So there is a shortage of budget for full-time hourly for our current fire department employees.
Is there anything in particular that's causing that?
The calculations for the hourly.
You're budgeted,
Under budgeted.
okay?
Yes, I do have a detailed explanation that was.
Got that here.
And then the second item for the $24,960, we have a pilot program where we have part-time volunteers, well, fire department, they're called volunteers, but we do pay them. And they go once a week to go pick up the brush that's around the community. And so that's a pilot that's gonna run for the rest of this year. So that comes out to $24,960 to keep that going until the rest of this fiscal year. And then currently, we have a part-time person that is helping with courts right now. Again, as you know, we are severely backlogged for our court program that we have. We went a long time with not having court, and now that we are having court, there's just a big backlog. So originally, of course, we had staff that was supposed to be doing it, and then they were out. And so there's just a tremendous amount of backlog to get the court program up to where it needs to be. And so to pay for a part-time person to work 25 hours a week, that's how much the salary would come out to along with fringes for that FT. Well, it's not really an FT, it's a part-time, I guess, part-time FTE. Yeah, it's not a full-time person. But because they will be working a minimum amount of hours, they do qualify for TMRS. And so that's why the fringes along with TMRS are included in that breakdown. So,
We get that added to the ordinance, that's what the purpose of the ordinance is. And then I also want to caution us, when contingency funds are used, they are typically used for, it's just a one-time budget for a contingency fund. It's typically used for a one-time unexpected event. When you use a contingency fund to fund ongoing payroll, we have just increased our base level of personnel costs to a new level that we're going to have to, that'll be a hurdle for next year's budget. So I like taking it from the contingency fund. We have the money available. I like a balanced budget, but we're stepping up to a new level of personnel costs, just a caution.
well, with the anticipation, of course, with the city manager was, this was a pilot to see how it would work because we had a lot of brush that needed to get picked up. And so it was to see how it would work, evaluate it at the end of this fiscal year to see if that's something that city council would want, or along with the new
I'm not
city manager.
saying it's not valid. I
Okay.
think it's extremely valid. It's just we have a new baseline for personnel
Well,
costs.
that's if it gets approved for the next year to see how it works. Right now, it seems like
Okay.
it's working. So it's not something that is automatically being projected.
It'll be in the
for-
budget,
for-
you know, if it's
Yeah.
something we want to continue.
Exactly, for next year,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And the same thing would happen possibly, with the court. Right now, as you know, we've had some turnover in the front office, and so it's been training, and it's been, we're gonna have another change also in the front office. And so Deborah, who's been fantastic, she's gonna be leaving us for for a better position. Yeah, yeah. And she's wonderful. She's
Are
just
we
such a great
recruiting for
employee.
that position now?
It's been posted
Okay,
already.
excellent.
Yes, it's been posted.
good.
And so,
Mary, question, is the brush program continuing as it has been? Residents call in or submit a work order,
they put in
and
a
the
work
brush
order.
gets picked up?
Yes, sir. And I think,
Because there's some
at the training-
confusion
he's
about
at the
that.
training. Yeah, they do a work order. They know that on the Thursdays or wherever it is, they pick up, but it's based again on the volunteers, the weather, things like of that nature.
Some residents are confused and have said they thought the program was done,
Oh,
and that you had to order one of those big canisters to
We still
Okay.
have the quarterly, the quarterly pickup is
Yeah.
still, it is
But that's
still,
different.
Oh, the brush
it's still
pickup
going
too,
on,
yeah.
but we also have the brush pickup, moving, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, the brush pickup.
So I know right now the bins, that's been the biggest one, is the bin availability, which, there's some confusion about that. That was restarted 1 March. I'm gonna follow up real quick here, to get an answer to that while Larry takes the podium. Yeah, we're still in,
Public hearing.
yeah, the public hearing, so please, feel free.
Better up here, you know, that way everybody hears it, right? Just two questions. Fire mitigation specialist, is that a full-time position? He's not part of the part-time that you're referring to, is he?
No, sir, no.
He actually, so let me jump. So he leads that team. So every Thursday, the way that team works is every Thursday that team goes out. It's a 4 or 5 person team is what our goal is. That team goes out to a designated area around the city. And that individual, Noel, who's the fuels mitigation specialist, leads that team. The rest of them are,
Part-time
yeah,
volunteers.
part-time.
And
When you
that's
say
what-
part-time, how many part-time
It
people
depends
do
on
you
how,
have? It depends on, I guess, how
who's
much brush he
available
needs to
and
pick
stuff
up,
like
is that?
that, like,
That's the big one.
yeah,
she
who's,
said.
who's available at that time?
Do you
around
have
in
a
that-
max number, or is this, your budget, is that when you reach that number, it stops?
When we met, that was the amount of money needed to keep that team going for the rest of this fiscal year. But it does not, it only does not include our existing employees, full-time employees. It is just the part-timers.
The part-timers? And
That's why we don't have TRMS, and we had some other funds that we could move to cover the fringes within the fire department.
That's, yeah, thank you.
So it's just for part-time employees.
Any other questions, council, citizens, dog?
So we're not pulling from the fund balance. We're moving from existing general fund accounts to cover those expenses.
Okay, if there's no additional comments or input from residents, I will close the public hearing at 18:45. And we can now move down officially to ordinance 26008. Council, I'll accept a motion on ordinance 26008 at your discretion.
I move to accept ordinance 26008 to amend the annual budget transferring from general fund to the specific departments as listed.
Can I get a second?
Can I amend it, or can I add that I'd like the purpose of the budget transfer to be absolutely stated in this ordinance, that we're doing it because of these reasons? Because otherwise, this standalone doesn't tell you very much. So I would like purpose. Ordinances. So just these 3 things that you said, if we could, whereas we underfunded, under budgeted 39, whereas we added a part-time person to municipal court, and whereas we added additional part-time
Well-
help for the brush.
Yeah, well, we increased the hours of an existing FTE that was
However you
part-time.
want to say it is fine with me. So I'll second it if I'm allowed to.
And you can amend it that way. I'll agree with her amendment. Okay.
Okay. Any additional discussion? Okay. All those in favor with the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? You got all that? All right, perfect. All right, 4-0 on that one. Thank you. All right, next up is ordinance 26009. Papers out of the way here. Ordinance 2609, discuss and take appropriate action on an ordinance establishing water utility billing protection, setting limits on back billing for undercharges, providing dispute resolution procedures and payment plans. Mary Stephen Dia, go.
Okay. We did have, as you know, we did have an issue during the conversion that took place, FundView, from Encode to FundView. With the software that was doing the billing, there was some numbers that were not being calculated correctly. And so some of the customers that we have, there was 4, that we're not being billed properly, so they owe for the water that they weren't billed for. And so this policy basically addresses how we go back and bill for residents or customers that have been underbilled, and how we will go forward if we overbill a customer or resident. This statute or this ordinance is in line with the code, which if you're in the city, based on, and we did speak to, meet with Neil on this, on the timeframe that we can go back. But if for residents or customers that we have outside the city, the law says that we can only do the maximum of 12 months. So that's the maximum amount of time we can go back to recover any lost revenue. And so, and then there was another research that Neil did. So that's where this is coming from, to try to retrieve and put something in writing for future, because it may happen again. There may be another conversion, or there may be another meter read software that there may be issues with that we need to go back. That way they know exactly what the steps need to be taken here at the city.
And then let me just throw this out there. In 2020, 2021, which has not been audited yet, we ended up with a $500,000 receivable in the water fund that you guys have been researching. My understanding is you haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet because you're focused on current audits, not old audits yet.
Older.
And I understand that we can't go back more than 12 months, but everybody needs to realize that if that receivable is not valid, we will have, my guess is between $250,000 and $300,000 write-off in the water fund. But I'm hoping that it was just delayed and there can be a catch-up period that we can do currently. But we need to have that audited, and until we do, we have that bubble over our heads.
Right, and it's not that, but it's
Yeah.
also not knowing
That's
how
not
much
part of
each
this
fund
ordinance.
balance is.
No, but it makes it a part of this ordinance because it says we can't go back
Right.
more than 12 months. So there are ramifications, yeah.
According to the Public Utility Commission, they're the ones that tell us that we can't go back further than 12 months.
No, I believe it. I'm not questioning 12 months, but it has implications
Yeah.
to something we've been sitting on for a while.
Here it is.
Go back, even if it's within the city, that you can't go back over 12 months.
We're just talking about people who are outside.
Okay. All right, yeah, all right. So with outside the city, I think you'd have if it's inside the city, I think you would have a 4-year statute of limitations on collection of a debt.
Which we've already missed on.
Which we missed.
Yeah, we missed that too. Yeah.
Same boat, different road.
Same boat.
Yeah.
How old does this $500,000 go back?
We don't know. The last audit was 18. The last audit was 18, so we're doing 19 and 20.
20, yeah.
I thought I remember hearing.
That's the
Yeah.
audit, the last year that we did not audit.
It's 18, 19, 19, 20, so, and it's important because that's really gonna help us figure out how much fund balance you have in your water fund versus your marina fund. It connects all the dots together.
But in any case, it's more than 4 years.
Yes,
So the
sir.
statute has
Yeah,
run.
no, we're facing something, we just don't know what it is yet. And until we get the audit of 19 and 20 done, because it didn't exist in 18 when we were audited.
When she says
Somehow.
18, it's 17, 18, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's 18, 19, 19, 20.
I just have a couple questions. When it says the city is going to adjust the bill and the city is going to approve a refund, who is the city? Can we put a position? Can we
City
say the director of administration is going to do this rather than just the city?
We could designate the city manager, if that's what, I mean, because really, everything that we do, including Dennis, whatever recommendations that we come up with, they should have approval from the city manager, because it's
Great.
money.
Yes.
Want to have a level, have a level that the city manager can adjust, but anything above that has to have council approval.
As far as approval versus not approval, I don't know. I mean, if it comes to us and says we've overbilled this customer, the fact that I'm approving it or not, I have to approve it. We've
Yeah,
overbilled
yeah.
the customer. So I want to be informed that, you know, we have overbilled and we've worked out a plan with somebody and it's $20,000. But as far as approval, I mean, I think it is. We've underbilled or we've overbilled, and they've already proven it.
I'm just asking, do you want to have, if there's going to be an adjustment in a bill, want to have a certain threshold that the city manager can approve without coming to council?
I'm fine with $50,000. I hope we don't have that. But he has $50,000 to purchase something.
So on the amounts, so for the 4 accounts that, and just to clarify, these 4 accounts all have meters that are bigger than a 1-inch meter. So anything in the city that's bigger than a 1-inch, we've had discrepancies with. These 4 accounts were not overbilled, they were dramatically underbilled. And the total for these 4 accounts for what we can recover is $164,000. So it's substantial.
And I
Right,
guess.
it is, yeah. I mean, that's the first I've heard that number.
Yeah.
But,
It's been a lot of hours getting to this number.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm open to a recommendation, you know, if we want to have a threshold that Dia, Director of Utilities, has certain authority, and then above an amount, it needs to go to the city manager. You want to figure that out?
When you say the city, to me, it means the administration of the city manager. Dia would bring it to the city manager, but if they've overbilled, everybody's gonna know about it, because they're gonna come in and complain about it, and, you know, so I thought the ordinance looked really good as written myself.
I agree. I
Okay.
don't see,
I like to see like the building official, you know, it says the building official will do this. I like to see who's going to be doing it, but
say
that's
the
fine.
city, it could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
Who represents the city.
Okay. And then as far as like an overbilling, although we don't have that situation right now, it says that they can either get a credit or a refund. Who decides what they're getting? Is it the customer that decides what they're getting?
Yeah.
Well, then we need to say that the customer decides.
At the customer's discretion?
At the customer's discretion. And then number 2, it needs to be documented, not just how the overcharge was calculated, but how it was resolved. This was resolved by the customer requesting a refund, so that there is no question.
And we have the
as-
documentation. the dotting
Yes,
the i's
in
and
the
crossing the t's.
documentation it says that. Yeah. That's all I had on that.
All right, I'd like to move that we accept ordinance number 26009, establishing customer service and protection provisions for municipal water and sewer utility customers. And
Without any thresholds?
under the one section 1, that it is, if the customer has overpaid the bill, the original bill, a refund or credit shall be issued at the customer's discretion. And that's the only addition I would make.
Okay, council, can I get a second with that amendment?
I'll second that.
Oh, go ahead, Sam, yeah.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 4-0 on that one, thank you. All right, moving on, resolution, just for reference, 26018, 019, 020, and 021 are all memorandum resolutions to enter into engagements of various sorts with Brooks Watson and Company to conduct audits. So, Mary, I will turn it over to you if you want to briefly discuss each of those, what they are.
Merge those into one resolution?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if y'all wanted to, but I think if just, yeah. They're all different audits.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do that because
One
they're,
is a really weird
yeah.
one that needs a lot of adjustments, the single-purpose audit.
Yeah, single purpose, okay.
It's not just perfunctory.
now, if you so choose, Sam, I will be more than happy to entertain after discussion, a motion to approve all four.
Yeah, you could
But,
do all, you could approve all
Or
four.
accept all four. All right, go ahead, Mary. You can
But
cover those real quick for me,
As you
please.
know, we're required to do the audits, and I was given direction to prepare for the beginning stages of the 2018, 2019 audit and the 1920 audit. So we've already begun the scanning of all of the records for those audits. And so there is a budgetary impact, of course, but at least if we get the approval, then when we go to the budget, we can figure out when we finish the budget, which one of these, when they're ready, can be slid in, and the approval's already there. So this will make it easier, so when we finish and we get back on track, then they can put in one of these audits as we move forward, because the goal is to be caught up by the end of March, to be caught up with all the audits.
It just strikes me that this is not about any details of any single audit. It's about giving permission to engage Brooks Watson and Company. We're gonna do that on all these audits.
Yeah.
Yes, but each amount is different. I would like the.
This is not about amounts.
No, but it should be added in the resolution.
Oh, you wanna add the amounts in.
are in the letters that we just got, like Monday.
Okay,
So it wasn't in the original packet.
I see.
And so I would like the dollars put into each of the resolutions. And I'm big on that. And going forward, I really would like the purpose and the dollar amounts put in all ordinances and all resolutions.
But we'll add the dollar amounts to the ordinances.
We did get to see all of them, and so. but,
Yes.
Yeah, so if we're looking at all the resolutions, on the second whereas, I would suggest that we say Brooks and Watson certified, their firm qualified to conduct municipal audits and provided a proposal, perform the audit for the fiscal year ending in 2019 at a cost of,
Yeah.
and what was in the contract.
Okay.
Does that sound okay, Dorothy?
Perfect.
Okay.
And that works for 19, 20, and 26. But the special purpose audit, I would really like to talk about.
Okay.
That's 26021. So do we want to make a motion, Roxanne, on those first three? You want to go ahead and
Yeah.
make it?
I would like to make a motion to accept Resolution 26018 for fiscal year 2019 audit, and Resolution 26019 for fiscal year 2020 audit, and Resolution 26020 for fiscal year 26 audit, and amend the second whereas on each of those resolutions to end in, and the second whereas under Brooks and Watson, the year ending 29 at a cost of, and the cost that was on the contract. All right? That's my motion.
I'll second it.
Any additional discussion?
There are a couple typos that I already pointed out to Mary in the resolutions. It's just in the very first thing, but it's very minor.
Yeah, yeses.
All right, council, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0. Okay, so 26021, you wanted to discuss that one individually?
Again, I'd like to know the purpose of the audit in the resolution, the cost of it in the resolution. And I think those are the two biggest things. Is this for FEMA? Is this for groundwater? Is this for ARPA? Is this the only one? Are we going to have to do one for 23, 24, 25? I just don't have the full picture on this yet.
Based on the records that were submitted for 23-24, along with the invoices, along with the report that was submitted to the U.S. Department of Treasury for the ARPA, it's a combination. It could be from the reimbursements through TIFMAS that brought us to that threshold. For sure,
What is the threshold?
for this one, it's 750,000. Yeah, and so in the report that was submitted back in 2024, in March, what was submitted to the U.S. Treasury Department, the cumulative expenditure that was submitted to the feds was $945,456.65.
Or what?
Oh, sorry, excuse me, current expenditures for the ground storage tank.
So that's ARPA
Part,
money.
that's part of that. And plus whatever other, it could have been TIFMAS, federal money that we received, that I downloaded from David Williams from the FEMA website. So you have to take this federal, it's not one federal grant, it's the total amount of all the federal monies that
So
you
they're
get.
gonna do one single financial report on any federal funds we received in '24, or that we used in '24.
That were expended, yes, ma'am. And that what was reported.
That's just
for-
a single audit report, and it'll say, this is from FEMA, this is from ARPA, this is from.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
That's the way it
well,
goes.
then we definitely have it for '23 too, because the groundwater storage was started, it may have been started in '22, but we expended funds in '23 also.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's the 23 single audit. We received that one already. You all approved it.
We received the audit for the
No,
23,
23 audit.
but not on a single purpose.
That was sent, both
Really?
of you. Yes, ma'am. But you were sent the single audit for the regular audit for 22, 23, as well as a single audit.
And that was for ARPA money.
It included multiple. It wasn't just ARPA.
Man, I totally spaced
Okay.
out.
Yeah, and it's okay. And so this year, the expenditures that were reported to the feds was 945,000. So every year I went back and I downloaded, because it's the total amount of federal grant funds expended for that year.
Right.
So you add them together and it meets that threshold. So, and again, remember I showed you that the invoices, the original invoices from the contractors had one date. But by the time they came in from Cobb Finley, I think that was the engineer that they had at the time, they signed off as the work being done and invoiced on a different date. So there's one date from the original contractor where they said that they invoiced, but it doesn't really count until Cobb Finley
Approves
submitted
it.
it and approves it and certifies that the
Right.
work was done.
Right, absolutely.
And so those dates can be the
Right.
difference between 1 month, 2 months,
Yeah.
4 months, 5 months.
Right.
And then
If
when
they
they're
didn't
expended
accept
was
the
when we
work,
actually
right.
paid them.
Right.
And so
We
there
don't
was,
pay them till Cobb Finley told us to pay. Right.
yes, and then sometimes it took a while. So then there was invoice date versus the actual expending date. So it's,
Okay, so can I make a suggestion?
sure.
On this resolution 21, it says that the city is required to conduct an annual audit of its financial statements to comply with GAAP, and that they're going to conduct a single audit. It's confusing to me.
No, I can reword it to put the statutes of the single audit, that what it's for the expenditure of federal funds to meet the,
They're not auditing 24 again.
No,
They're
no,
not
it's the
auditing
same.
the federal
funds, right.
So we
Okay,
need
so
to say if it's a single audit, to audit, per regulations, to audit monies greater than 750,000, grant
In
money greater
aggregate.
than.
Yes.
Yeah,
Aggregate.
aggregate grant money greater than 750,000. And we don't have to put the exact amount in, because we may not know the
Well,
exact
the
amount.
statute says if we exceed that amount, right.
It exceeds
It
it, that
exceeded that
exceeds
amount.
that amount. So that, I think if we put that in, that would be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the.
Take out that it's for the financial statements.
Yes, I agree with that.
Single
I
audit.
apologize.
Okay,
That one's on me.
oh, that's okay.
And then the amount again.
Yeah.
At a
Yeah.
cost of, on the second whereas, on 2024, at a cost of, and then that amount in there.
Yeah.
So,
Make those corrections to add the thresholds, the appropriate thresholds, and it's to meet the federal compliance, and I'll put the statute that we have to meet.
okay.
Yeah, and then I think that'll be clear, exactly what it's for.
So because, just so you know,
Bruce,
after this
gonna
is
make
all
the
done,
motion?
because of the threshold, we may, well, it went up to $1 million, but because of the tornado, we may have to do another single audit. So once we look at those numbers of when we expended and when the invoices and all that came in, there may be another single audit coming our way for,
2025. Right.
We'll see.
okay, just preparing you.
Okay, all right.
And they're going to be doing that probably in collaboration with their audit of
Yeah.
the whole fiscal year
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
They'll do them in parallel.
Yeah.
It will be a separate audit,
Yeah,
though.
yes,
with a
ma'am. It
separate
has to be,
amount.
because we have to
Right.
upload it to the clearinghouse and send
yeah,
it to the
yeah,
office
yeah.
of the governor and send it.
Okay, well, yeah, that sounds good. Roxanne, was that a motion?
Yes, I was going to make it into a motion.
Okay.
Okay, you can do it if you
No,
want.
no,
Okay.
you-
On
sure.
Resolution 26-021 for the city's single audit, we want to accept the resolution with the following amendment. The first whereas will define that it is a single audit with, for grant monies, the aggregate of the grant monies that exceeded the $750,000 requirement. And then the second whereas, year ending 2024 at a cost of, and the amounts that we've got in the grant, in the contract. So that's my motion.
Yeah, and I'll add that we need to take out the wording that it's an annual audit of our
Right,
financial
right,
statements.
yeah, I
Okay,
put-
I'll
yeah.
second that.
Okay, council, any additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 4-0 on that one. With the changes.
Another audit? 3 more?
Okay, Matt, would you like to approach the podium? Council, this is Resolution 26-022, which is discuss, take appropriate action on the memorandum resolution to apply for the MVCPA Catalytic Converter Theft Prevention Grant Program.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Let me go switch out the mics real quick. This one's about to die.
This is a revised resolution.
No, that's just the memorandum to accompany the resolution. Okay, I switched out mics just so this one wouldn't die on us. So, good evening, Mayor, Council, and citizens. Before you, you have two pieces there. I just dropped off the second piece, or the first piece, whichever order you put it in, which is the memorandum to accompany the resolution. I couldn't have the memorandum drafted in time when the resolution was done, based on I didn't get quotes back in time. So, the MVCPA grant, which is the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority, they have a grant which is called the Catalytic Converter Grant or Theft Prevention Program Grant. That grant covers naturally stolen catalytic converters and the prevention of that, the apprehension of the thieves for that. And naturally, because catalytic converters are attached to the vehicles, when the vehicles are stolen, it is also for the apprehension, prevention of stolen vehicles as well. It's used for equipment mainly. This last year that we came to you, we did one for the flock license plate cameras. This time we are coming to you before you asking to use this grant to purchase 3 patrol vehicles for the department. And to give you a little backstory for a reason why that too. We have not had replacement patrol vehicles since Dalton Rice was a city manager here. So since that time, we have had.
That's 2 years ago.
Almost
Almost 3.
Mhm,
Okay.
yes, because I think the last year he was here, we didn't get one either. We did the position that had a vehicle related to it, but we did not we didn't replace a vehicle, if that makes sense. That was the added position.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay,
It was the 10th officer for our full-time.
okay.
Oof, man, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know who did that. So that's the reason why we're using this grant. Other cities, we have found other cities use the grant for the same purpose. Last year we were a little bit too late to the game to do this, to make this request. So that's why we're here today. So there's a couple of financial impacts. Again, the financial impact is an 80-20 grant, where they will it's a reimbursement grant, 80-20. So they will reimburse 80% of what we pay. And then the city is just out naturally in the end, the 20% of that. So based on, just to give you off some numbers here, each cost of each patrol vehicle outfitted is between $83,800 and $88,295, depending on the vendor selection. And then we've basically narrowed it down to 2 vendors, that amount. So based on the cost of the 3 vehicles added together, the low estimate would be $251,400, and the high estimate would be $264,885. Again, with the grant covering 80% reimbursement of that, the city is estimated to receive in reimbursement $201,120 to $211,908. With the city basically being out of pocket $50,280 to $52,977 for 3 vehicles. And just to give you all a little retrospect on that, that high number, the $52,977, that's actually less than the cost of the vehicle itself not upfitted. So it's about $52,900 something with the vehicle not upfitted. And so our recommendation is that you approve the resolution authorizing the city manager or his designee to apply for or execute all necessary documents related to the grant. And I'll take any questions y'all have.
This
Like a
isn't,
buy one, get 2 free.
Sorry, do what?
It's like a buy one, get 2 instead of BOGO.
Yeah, for a little, like, and that's not even the upfit, that's just the vehicle cost. Again, the vehicle by itself, not upfitted, is $52,900 up in the $53,000 range.
and do you have a way to get the 53,000 out of public safety's budget, or where will that come from?
So, no, so, my understanding with previous talks with the city manager, we tried to do this last year and we were trying to bring it earlier, but the grant wasn't open earlier. They would be using general fund for this purchase. That was the discussion.
Do we have any contingencies left in the general fund?
For this current fiscal year? No.
Correct.
So would this
Budget
grant be,
amendment said there was.
would this grant be approved
Well,
before the next
I gave
fiscal
you a
year?
printout of this that has,
I
because by the
actually
time
don't know
it
the
gets
question
awarded,
on
it
that one,
won't be this
Roxanne. I'd
fiscal
have to
year when
look
they
and
get
see.
awarded. It
They
won't
have
be
to,
until
we have to
next
attend a.
fiscal year.
So Roxanne, so Councilwoman Stryker's question was, would it be approved before the fiscal year? I don't have the answer to that. I do know that we have to attend a conference to present our stuff to the grantee, or the grantees have to attend a conference.
Isn't that like 1st of May?
I don't know off the top of my head on this one.
May 8th.
The award date last year was.
The
didn't come in until
deadline,
the new
the
fiscal
deadline for
year.
the application is May 8th, I believe.
Okay.
That's just a
So it'll
deadline
be
for
for
the
the next
application.
fiscal
So we
year.
need to make a decision
Correct, yeah.
for this meeting or the 21st, the meeting on the
I have a
21st.
We need to
question.
front the money, buy the
Reimbursement.
vehicles, and then wait for the grant.
It's a reimbursement, yes, sir.
How long would we be out that sum that represents the reimbursement we're waiting for?
It depends, you can't submit for reimbursement naturally until you have all of the product naturally, right? So, one vendor, there are pros and cons to both of our vendor selection. One vendor is guaranteed 90-day turnaround. However, it's a new vendor to us, but they are just down the road. And the other one is our current vendor that we've used the last several years for our vehicles. They're very reliable, however, they can't give us a 90-day turnaround. So it could be, 6 months, for that. I mean, they are faster, they did expand their facility. So it just depends kind of on which vendor is
When
selected.
you say 90-day turnaround, you mean they will
From the
wait for their
issue-
funds for 90 days?
No, for the issuance of the PO to the vehicle being in our hands,
Oh, I
90
see.
days.
And then what does the grant say about when the funds have to be expended?
As far,
Okay, so we go and we apply for it on May 8th.
and then they have to, basically, we have to be awarded it naturally, which comes after the conference, and the date of the conference.
Which is what?
Again, I don't have that on me right now.
About?
How many miles do we have on our
Do I-
vehicles now?
Yes, it is generally a couple of months. On our vehicles now, well,
Closer to
the
next
vehicles that
fiscal year.
these vehicles will be replacing, I'll tell you, 2 of the vehicles out of these 3 are totaled. They're currently totaled right now and they're frontline vehicles. One was totaled due to the hail damage from the storm, right? And we got some money for that and we were able to keep it on the road because again, it's a frontline vehicle. The other one was issued into a wreck and we just got it back. And so it was totaled because again, age and mileage and things.
The program
So
is a
2
really
of
good
those
program.
are totaled right now.
It's like insurance money
No, they were totaled.
by
So
the insurance company.
by the insurance company, yes.
They gave us nothing.
They gave us a little bit to get them repaired and keep them on the road.
Yeah.
They gave us
They really
enough to
need
get them
to,
at a generous, body shop and mechanic shop to get them repaired, and keep them on the road, so we're not coming to you asking
Yeah.
for
They really need new
$200,000.
Throwing
And it's
my-
a great
my
program,
electric
because
bike.
you get one vehicle, it's like getting 3 for the price of 1.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, but we
I
have
think
to
that,
have the money to do it.
yeah. I-
So, I have
I
a
agree.
question too. Didn't we have something in a CIP plan where we were gonna be replacing vehicles periodically? Would that monies at all be able to
So-
be used
Not
in here?
budgeted.
Those
So
are not
I'll
budgeted.
answer that, and again, Mr. Baldwin's not here to answer, but, when, City Manager Rice was here, we started to institute what we call the capital replacement plan or a fixed asset replacement plan. On that, when, City Manager Baldwin came in, he said it wasn't done correctly or it wasn't done adequately. And so we currently don't have a plan right now. But, and so that's essentially when the vehicle stopped. Because again, with the new city manager, naturally, they don't want to take on any more expenses as necessary, right? And then on top of that, we were also hit with a tornado.
Yeah.
And so things took a little turn.
So let's say that we have $250,000 worth of vehicles that we purchase. Can we take out a loan temporarily? Can the police department do that until we get reimbursed or?
We have cash in the bank. It's a
Okay,
question of,
okay.
we have not budgeted for it.
Right,
And that's
yeah.
where I'm trying to figure out the timing, if we can put the PO in 3 months before 10/1, and then we get the vehicles, because we don't have to expense it until we get the physical receiving of the vehicles.
We're gonna be real close to the October 1st deadline, don't you think?
No, we're going to apply for the grant.
Right,
That's
but
what I'm
if we
saying.
apply now, but we may not have to do implementing any monies until
That's
the
what I'm
next.
asking
Until he gets
Matt,
awarded, which will
what
be
does the
after-
grant?
Yeah, I mean, we still have the project period, right? I mean, you still have the project period, which will start after the grant is awarded naturally. And then you'll have, I believe, 12 months from that time to complete the project.
Okay,
Next fiscal. Well, can we approve to apply for the grant, period,
yes.
and not set aside funds for it, not say
No, right,
execute
yep, yep.
the grant, just say we are approving that you apply for the grant?
I would say, if you want to make that resolution number 260222, that the city council approves that we apply for this grant for the catalytic converter.
So and the other thing that, with Councilwoman Allen, we were discussing in an email before, the resolution that you have in front of you, is their template, right?
Yeah, I know.
The thing that, Chief Hodge came back from, we had to do a mandatory training, last week, so he attended that in San Antonio. They harped on, again, using their resolution because apparently, probably not us, because we used their last one, the same thing. That, I guess, legal jargon that was required was not in there. And
I'm
then
fine
some,
using a sample resolution,
Yeah.
and they put a sample
I think, but
resolution in
the-
there. But we have certain requirements for our city,
Right.
like the purpose. This has no purpose that it's gonna buy 3 vehicles. This talks about a catalytic converter, so there's no purpose in here, there's no amounts of money in here, and that's a requirement of our city. So we can use their format But we need a couple more whereas's.
Right, I just, on the, one of those, I think where it says, I believe it says where, the resolution says to execute all documents related, so that's
Yeah.
why I was like, if you're gonna change, there's a spot in there that says, and again, that's their specificity, not ours.
Right, so we need to look at that.
I don't have it in front of me, so that's why I was saying.
I just
don't
want to
have it.
go all the way
Yeah,
up
let
to
me
the point of authorizing the purchase of the vehicles. And this resolution doesn't even say it's for vehicles. Do we want to bring this back, Jimbo? I know we're pressed for time, next week. And Matt, if you could get a resolution
You
with.
want May 8th?
It's due, I know, but we're meeting on the 21st of April.
Okay, but that's a full meeting already. I don't want to do it.
Well,
I don't
I'm not
want
ready.
stuff.
There,
Yeah.
the information is not complete in my mind.
Well,
Yes, very quick. If you come back with everything that we've suggested in the resolution, and I understand you need to use their sample, and I understand you need to use their words, but council and residents need to know what it's for and how much we're committing. And then I would like Mary to go scrub the books and say, where are we gonna get this?
We have a little bit.
Scrub
of-
hard, scrub hard.
well, A little bit, but I also want like the new city manager to come in to have
Some-
something.
Well, if
Yeah.
this is important, then
Yeah.
this is a priority.
Yeah, yeah.
Some leeway on when you order it, to tell them when you want it delivered.
Right.
So,
That's
And
what
we have
I'm
to get
thinking.
awarded too, so it won't probably be till next fiscal
Yeah,
year.
when you order vehicles, it's a whole different beast, when you're
won't be till
upfitting
next fiscal
vehicles,
year.
because, the problem is, the upfitting is not the problem. Upfitting is come to that, but when you order the vehicle, you're at the manufacturer, depending on the time you order it, and the year model you're asking for, you're in a slot, so they cannot tell you how long it's gonna take. So right now, we talked with the vendors that are promising 90 days. And let's just say you order today, well, this was last week or 2 weeks ago. I mean, they had 12 of them on the lot ready to go, so there are some things like that.
Okay, well, you know where we're
Did
coming
this
from.
resolution?
And so I was looking at this resolution, so the resolution, as opposed to my memorandum that goes with it, I think you're good with the resolution because it doesn't say anything about it just says you're approving for the application.
It doesn't have the purpose, it doesn't say. for
Right, if we wanna amend it like you did the last couple with the recommendations for amendments.
Can't we just do that a minute?
Make sure we know what we're approving. No, but that's not the resolution. I know. Gotta be in the resolution.
Right, so we can.
Well, will they let you add that to the resolution? If this is their
Absolutely,
resolution?
it's
So
just
they-
a
you-
sample.
You can, as
Sample
long as you don't change the part where as long as you don't, so Neil added the severability and the execution, I believe, is that correct, Kelly? Neil's portion is the severability execution added to that? Yeah, okay, so anything above that, that is their standard, so as long as you don't change that, the first couple, 3 whereas, and now therefore, and be it resolved.
Accept, decline, modify, or cancel. Okay, that's good. Because the city manager is authorized to apply for the grant, accept it or decline it, modify it, or cancel it.
Yes, and
That's it.
I believe the open meetings, the severability and execution is what, Neil requires on the resolution, or as
No, that's
instructed
fine, I'm not-
Kelly. Yeah,
That's good. So we're not going, all we're doing is agreeing to apply for the grant. So all you have to do is add, you want to do this, Roxanne? Okay, so
you
we,
can just add another whereas.
the council wants to move forward on resolution 26-022 by adding 2 more whereases. The first whereas would be for the purpose of this grant, that we would want to purchase 3 fully loaded police cars for an estimated cost of, and then whatever the cost is. And then the next whereas would be, we're going to apply for a grant of whatever this amount is, and the city understands that they have a 20% matching on that amount. So we need lots of amounts.
Fully loaded is not the right term.
What's it
Fully
called?
equipped.
It's upfitted, yeah.
Outfitted.
Yeah,
Outfitted, okay.
Matt's words.
Upfit.
Outfitted.
Okay, so that resolution amended for two
full-
more whereases.
We would like the fully loaded ones and upfitted too, but they don't come. I don't think we have the purpose for sunroofs.
Sorry.
30 caliber
Sorry.
on the roof.
Neil, you have a comment?
Use the word directed instead of authorized. Direct the city manager to do it instead of authorizing it to be done.
There's that word again.
I'm completely open. I
it's
like
fine the way it
authorize
is, yeah.
myself, but I think in a point where he comes back and doesn't do what we ask him to do, then we change it to we're
Directing. Yep,
directing you to
yep,
do it.
yep.
I would prefer to
Okay.
stay friendly until it's not friendly anymore.
Hey, Roxanne, it was your original motion. Do you want it directed?
So
Or
I'll
no,
give
it
you.
was
No,
direct,
it's
it was your
fine.
motion,
It's her
sorry.
motion.
I'm fine with authorized.
With authorized.
Okay,
thanks, Neil.
yeah, me too, okay, and
I was
I'll
gonna say,
second.
to help you out, we did the last ones, all they have to do is just certify it. Yeah, I mean, we actually do the application portion, they just certify it.
Right, right.
Okay, so I've got a motion with the amendments. Dorothy made that, Roxanne with a second. Any additional discussion?
If I could, Mayor, too, the title
Yeah.
on this one that's in the packet, is a little bit different from the last revision that we had, the big bolding at the top. The application funding for the motor vehicle, so where it starts, the SB 224, it is, see, if you remove SB 224 and change that to catalytic converter, theft prevention program grant. So it's a
Theft
little bit
promotion?
changed.
Theft
This one is the,
Prevention.
the revision didn't make it into the packet.
Okay, we're
We want to
approving it.
take out SB 224?
We're taking out SB 224.
Okay.
And then it is the catalytic converter, and then right before the grant, is the theft prevention
Okay.
program. Grant.
Okay.
So a little bit change of words, yeah.
Theft Prevention Grant Program, okay.
Okay, so with
So
that
we'd like-
additional change, any additional discussion?
No, I just want to see it again on the 21st,
Yes, ma'am.
because that's very convoluted, and I'm hesitant
I'm not gonna sign it until
Thank
it's,
you.
yeah.
One more
I've got
time.
my notes here,
All
so
right,
yeah, we'll
but
bring
that's
it.
what-
But in
Yeah,
the
that's what we
meantime-
want, we can quickly approve it then.
Yeah.
All right.
You've
But
got
we
the
approve,
substance of the approval, just not the form.
right, okay.
Right.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0. Okay, resolution,
thank you.
let me turn it back on, sorry. Resolution 26023, council, this was the one for EDC. I will, accept the motion on that. I know we discussed potentially tabling that, so I will.
To table that till the next meeting, being that they're having a meeting coming up, we'll table it.
No, they just had it last night,
Yeah, and they
so
have
they're
some
not going to be
ideas.
able to
Yeah,
look at it, yeah.
We'll table it
But we will
until
move
the
forward on
May
that.
meeting, not the April meeting, the May meeting.
Right, okay.
All right, motion to table, any objection?
No, but I want to, Kelly and I talked about this today, come back, instead of a resolution, with a letter from, and I think Neil suggested that too.
Letter of direction? or
Letter
it-
of guidance or,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because, yeah.
Instead of a resolution.
Yeah,
Okay.
instead of a resolution. And let's be perfectly clear that EDC board has requested that the council do this. This isn't something that
Yeah.
the council normally does. The council normally just reviews their work plan, but they have specifically asked for direct guidance.
So we want a letter of direction as requested by EDC.
Right, board.
That's what we call it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And it's basically what you had listed here, Kelly.
great.
Okay, so we'll table that till next week.
No, May.
Or in May, I'm sorry.
May, one. We don't want to add any more to next week.
Okay, last one, go ahead, Neil, you have something, or? Okay, resolution 26024, this is discuss, take appropriate action on the memorandum resolution for the city manager to execute a voluntary annexation development agreement and municipal service agreement with the Water's Edge Belton Investors, LPA Texas Limited Partnership for property located near the southwest end of Sobrante Road, totaling about 5.3 acres, providing for deferred annexation based upon performance milestones. Council, this is the presentation we received.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. This, I was gonna say, you're back there.
Yeah, I would like to table it.
Okay,
Could we ask Neil to weigh in on what he's read so far? Tell us what your thoughts are on this annexation process, so what we have so far.
Yeah.
Table it, yep. Needs more work.
All right.
But it's a good idea to move forward with it.
Of course,
Yep,
yeah.
Yep, yep, okay.
And just speaking on behalf of the developer, we appreciate the tabling. What'd you say? Yes, no, we very much do. We would like an additional month to work with Mr. Potts, to hammer out some of the language in it, and to work with council and Mr. Snyder as well.
Maybe our new city manager.
And absolutely, yes. So we just request additional time. We want to move forward. And unfortunately, timing isn't working out well for us right now. But we absolutely want to go forward with it. Absolutely want to go forward with this.
Yes.
But we want to make sure it's in the best interest of the developer and the city. And so,
That'd be a
I
good
think
deal for
Mr.
everybody.
McPherson has a good sense of the council's attitude on this. And,
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll work on
Case table.
making some revisions and maybe a little more specificity to the plan.
absolutely. Thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you coming.
yeah, and on behalf of council, thank you for being here. We really appreciate the guidance or the information. It makes things a lot easier on this side of the table to understand what's going on in Planet Hollywood out there.
Why I'm here.
Thank you.
We want this to be a partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, so, let's see, moving on to, Mary's gonna present, finance and city manager updates real quick.
Or not quick.
On the budget, projected right now.
Mike's not on. I thought I wasn't hearing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Keep online.
Okay, I think it's on the screen. So, right now,
See that.
we're basically, putting revenue and, expenses as much as possible, especially for personnel costs at whatever anybody's getting paid right now will remain in place. We are projecting for year 3 of the roads to be in next year's budget. We're also looking and pending, for the marina floats for docks D and E.
Can I ask why that's pending?
Because we're gonna meet with Ronnie tomorrow and we're gonna get as much as we can. We got some quotes. We need to figure out the thresholds if we're gonna go out for bid. So there's a process on that. And then
I
we have a new
understand
city
that, but
manager.
a budget is just estimating that you're gonna do it.
Yes.
I would like it in the budget. I would like floating dock, because I think it's required by the Corps of Engineers by 2027.
Yeah, there's a deadline
Well, then
for
I
it.
would like it in the budget, not,
Well, okay, I guess the word pending is the amounts. We're still waiting on the actual amounts to budget for
but you're
next year.
gonna include it in the budget?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so it's included?
yes.
Okay.
That's what we're meeting tomorrow about, to get more or less a framework of how much money it's gonna be. I just don't have actual amounts. I have the actual amount for personal costs. I have the actual amount of what we're projecting for tax revenue based on the tax rates. I know how much we're gonna put up for roads for next year, but the actual costs for the marina floats for D and E right now, that is not where, we need to determine what that's gonna be. The internal fleet replacement that was brought up right now, that was something that was supposed to be, looked at. So there will be scrubbing and looking at what is gonna happen if it does get awarded, where we're gonna go with that. And then the fire mitigation, the brush pickup right now, the project that is a pilot for this year, as we finish, whether or not that is something that will continue or not for the upcoming year.
Are you gonna include it in the budget as an ongoing project for our city?
After the evaluation, based on the recommendation of the director from the fire department and the city manager, then they'll let me know. But those are the ones that we're still waiting, because we
Yeah,
started
I'd like
this
to
late.
see that in the budget for next year. We can always take it out if we don't think it's the right project to do. We committed to it. It's one of the highest priorities of our city, and to be wishy-washy about it, I'm not comfortable with that.
I
If
want
we can
to,
include that in the budget.
well, I guess I would say yes, but we're looking at the cost because right now we worked on a 4 to 5 man crew, so we don't know how how it works, whether or not we're going to put
Keep it the
more.
way it is. Budget it the way it is.
They
And
may-
then if we
yeah.
have any changes, we'll do an amendment.
Well,
Instead of calling it a pilot.
okay.
Yeah, and I'd rather include it than exclude it.
Okay, and also the health insurance cost is being projected to be at 25% increase for next year. That is the tentative projection right now. So next we go, the audits.
Wait a minute. I would like to add, that the council needs to do the 26-27 work plan so that we can give the new city manager and
Oh, absolutely,
our
yeah.
financial director guidance for their preparation of the budget. So let's get on that, kids.
We need to set that up for maybe May.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
need to get on
Toward
it.
the end of May, we'd like to set up a work plan, but that's a,
And we've done it different ways. We've brought in an outside consultant, Alicia from Austin. We've had Urian help us do it. I think it's good to have a facilitator. I think we can get it done faster with a facilitator. So I'm suggesting maybe a facilitator either from the COG or from,
Clear Career.
I don't know anything about their ability to develop a work plan. I think that's outside their wheelhouse. But we could use Alicia again. We've used her like 3 times. EDC's used her, and we've used her a couple times. But our new
So do
city
you want me to add-
manager,
So you wanted me to add what for next, on this one?
that that the council needs to develop the 26-27 work plan and give guidance to staff on priorities for next year.
But you wanted a facilitator for that
Under,
one.
but she's giving us the financial update, so where do you want that?
Upcoming budget.
Oh, okay.
They need our work plan to
Okay,
do their
okay,
budget.
okay.
Otherwise, they're making up whatever they want in the budget without council's guidance. So they need guidance. So then you can talk about the audits.
Next, can I go next? Okay.
Yep.
The audits, status, 18, 19, of course, now it's still pending, but now we have the engagement letters with some of the modifications that we need to do. But I can start working on figuring out what we know the cost is, and based on their timeline, I am gonna have a meeting with them because we still have not received the information that we were supposed to receive this past Friday for this meeting, which was a draft. So
You know what's holding that up?
they said that they were doing a retrial balance, putting it through the system to find out again what some of the trial balances are. And so I have the emails, I spoke to Mayor, talked to Jimbo, I showed him, we've been in constant communication. They did have their audits that they needed to close out. They were exhausted from the audits that they closed out from those big audits that they had. And he sent me an email that they're working on it. They're gonna get it to us. That's, I mean, I can't do it for them.
I just didn't know what the holdup was. If you could
Well,
just tell us what the holdup
well,
is.
I mean, that's,
They said they have to do something on a trial balance. That's like one of the first things you do when you start an audit, is you get a trial balance. So I'm confused. Is that for 25 or 24?
man, we're only waiting on the audit. We've only had one. We haven't started 24, 25
And I
yet.
don't understand what trial balance means.
I'm just
They said
telling
they
you
were
that.
gonna run a retrial on the
On
balances.
the balances that they had. They sent a worksheet, a preliminary draft with the financial statements that they sent. We sent that to you all via email. That is the last information that I've received from the auditors.
Okay, I was
Far
just
as-
wondering what the holdup is, that's all.
And I'm telling you that they said that they had to redo the trial balances. They're
Do you
putting
mind
it through the
sending me
system.
their response?
Excuse me,
Mind
absolutely.
sending me,
If
yeah, because I don't, that does not compute. Okay. Thank you.
I
Okay.
mean, there's nothing I can do that wait.
We're getting a lot of excuses from them. Tell me, I don't trust her, but I wanna see what these,
What they're saying.
yeah, and it's a bit frustrating. I've seen the emails where they said, you'll have it by the 14th.
I mean,
14th
literally
is
have it in
coming
an
down.
email, and they said they were gonna turn it in, but I also
If-
understand
I do
that-
not mind getting involved. I have a relationship with Louis Breedlove. I don't mind calling him get him to explain it to me in accounting ease.
Well, the email was sent by him, so.
Okay, perfect. I'll take it.
I'm just saying that I know that they have their work that they need to do, and things happen, and I don't know what has happened on their end. All I know is that whenever they've submitted information for us to hunt down, which wasn't still an issue to get some of this information, we submitted in within a couple of hours. So, I mean,
I'm just, yeah, if you could send that to
So-
me, I'll try to.
And I'm with you, Dorothy. I get delays, I understand, but my frustration with it right now is if you're experiencing a delay, if you see something coming, don't tell me you're gonna have it to me by this day and then
Right,
have an
yeah.
excuse why you don't.
Right.
Just tell me we're not gonna be ready. I would rather have that than.
yeah,
I
because
know
I'm the one that has to sit.
Right. I'm not blaming you, I'm just wondering what they said.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
deliverables are deliverables, right? So,
Okay.
okay, we have in your packet, you would have gotten the finance, revenue, and expenditure report, and then you have the banking information that we typically give to you, so you have that one in your packet. I'll send that to get posted on the website. And then for the city manager update, we did have,
Let's ask a real, and I know we're
Sure.
really pressed for time, but we are 6 months into this fiscal year. Do you have any idea where we are actual to budget? Are we on budget? Are we over budget? Or what?
the only thing that's pending that we need to reconcile are the credit card purchases, and that's it. Everything else is pretty much up to
But do you
date.
know where we are relative to budget?
85, 90%.
We're 85, 90% of budget, so we've spent
Wait,
the money.
Oh,
that
you're
we-
talking about spent, or are you talking about accurate? on what's in the
Variances from
reports?
budget. We have an actual and we have a budget. Where are we on actual compared to budget for the first 6 months of the year?
I would not be
Do
able
we
to give
have a
that to you right now.
surplus? Do we have a deficit?
We do not have a deficit.
Okay.
Do not have a deficit.
Okay.
That's why if some of the information I gave you, for example, like the city manager contingency fund and the other one, whenever there is a variance or something that comes up, that's why I gave you like where the $100,000 went. It went to the city council microphones, it went to the siren, it went to the police department, software for the tickets that was end of life, that had to get paid, the generator. So you have, whenever we see that there's negatives on the accounts.
Variance, yeah.
Yeah, well, I call them negatives. I sit down with the director and we look at their budget and then we do budget adjustments to bring it up. So I do have to meet with some of them because as they're doing purchase orders or credit cards, it is
Okay,
going,
so
but
this is telling me we have $50,000 left in the contingency.
no, ma'am. That says it has $49,430 or whatever. That was used as part of the budget amendment. So this one is exhausted at the $100,000. The $9,000
Oh,
was
it's
done for the
not
city
labeled.
manager.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
the
I didn't-
9,000 was for the city manager search on this one, and then 7,000, because it was 16,000 for the city manager search. So that was not budgeted. So 9,000 came from this account, and then 7,000 went from the other.
Okay, it's just not labeled on here. Okay.
So,
Okay.
so for the city manager update, really brief, we have the exterior marina repairs are finally done, yay! We still have a couple of internal repairs, there's a door or something that needs to be replaced, and so BJ with staff, that's gonna get done internally, so
Has
hopefully.
all the mold been mitigated?
That I know of. Yeah, Balfour came in and they did it, we paid, that was quite a bit of money, but we did pay. So we do have to pay for the repairs for the marina. So once we do, since we just got the bill and we knew it was gonna have to come out of fund balance, so that's something else that's gonna have to probably come to you all. The financial investment draft reports are scheduled to come to you all as the mayor mentioned earlier in the May meeting, so that you can approve those reports. And then there should be a park update coming on the May 2026 meeting. And that's it for the updates.
So has the park equipment been ordered for Ansay Park?
At this point, no, ma'am.
What's the holdup?
We are getting quotes and we're having a meeting with the park, the engineers. They were not available, and then city manager also was not available. And so right now it's tentative scheduled for Thursday, I believe.
The 16th, this
Let me see,
Thursday?
hold on, let me see, hold on, let me check, because Tyler,
Who's leading that on city staff?
it's a combination of the city manager, BJ, and myself.
Okay, can you
Let me get the actual date, 'cause-
prioritize that for the kids?
Yes, ma'am, you want the date. I can send it to you, let me see.
I don't need to see
Okay.
anything. I just want to get on it.
Yes, ma'am, I know. We know it's important for the city.
Yep.
But we have to meet with, when they're available also, so.
Well, just stress the importance and stress the priority that it is. And that honestly, I think it should be operational by 4th of July. And that's given 3 months to get it done.
Okay.
It said 8 weeks.
I think I'm done. Unless y'all have any other questions?
Nope.
Nope?
Okay.
Thank you.
Council, the other thing, we have our executive sessions left, so any final words of wisdom for our residents before we shut down all the AV?
Thanks for the stragglers. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah.
And all your comments.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any reason for residents to hang around for after the executive session? In other words, can you tell us whether or not the negotiations were?
They are not final.
They are not currently as of this moment right now.
Won't be.
We may do a phone call.
Please.
We're leaving you.
You're leaving? We're leaving our city in good hands.
We'll see you all Thursday for the candidate. Meet the candidate.
Oh.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming. Come to the meet and greet.
Yeah,
Meet
that's-
those candidates.
Yep,
All good?
I'll
all
go.
good.
Okay, we will recess, at 19:50, take 5, and then we'll go into executive session, so you can shut us down. Pull the plug.
Mostly city
You
manager
gotta wait.
updates. Yeah, it should be a good one.
Mostly updates.
Done with the mics?
Yes.
Getting rid of these.